welcome back to my channel. My name is Odette and I do weekly styling and lifestyle videos for the professional woman. So I am a huge fan of feminine styling. You can typically see that on my Instagram, but also the way I style clothes here on my YouTube channel. So I've watched a bunch of feminine videos because I enjoy watching them. But one of the things that I've noticed that is sort of lacking is feminine styling for work. So that's pretty much what this video is about. A lot of the feminine styling that I see, not all of them by the way, but a lot of them is usually quite revealing and quite sexy, which is great for weekends and for nights out or when you're not at least going to work. Those type of styles are great, but they're not always appropriate for work. And so the whole idea of femininity is not just a one-off thing, it's actually a lifestyle, which means if you're applying feminine techniques and tactics on your weekends or after work, it makes sense that you apply them as well when you're at work, because like I said, it is a lifestyle. It's not just something that you do every now and again. In this video, I'm pretty much focusing on your appearances, so it has nothing to do really with your behavior or anything like that. It's entirely the way you look. If that's the kind of thing that you're interested in, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you know every single time I upload. So before I start off, I just want to put out a disclaimer and say that obviously these tips is usually what I apply to be and stay feminine. Obviously there's a lot more that you can do, but these are my tips that I apply to myself, and I see other ladies applying the same tips as well. But the first tip is dresses and skirts. I mean, if there's anything that you can do to look feminine, is to wear a dress, because dresses and skirts were originally created for women, so there's nothing more feminine than that. So I would definitely say one way to really elevate your feminine look is to wear a dress as opposed to, I guess, a trouser. And I'm going to come to trousers in a bit. I'm not saying you can't wear trousers. And so the great thing about dresses and skirts is that they come in all kinds of shapes and styles. You have everything from a fit and flare to a bodycon to a midi dress, a maxi dress, dress with ruffles. I would not recommend wearing off the sleeve dresses, but you have sleeveless dresses and you have quarter sleeve, you have what do you call it, long sleeve. I mean, you have all kinds of dresses, and so you do have a variety to play with. One of the benefits that you get from dresses is that if you already have a shop load of amazing dresses, you can just wear it and not have to think about what am I going to pair it with, except for any accessories, which we're going to come to in a minute. So yeah, dresses and skirts is definitely my first tip in order for you to look feminine. That's an easy one to land. So the second tip is wearing trousers, and the good thing is there are different types of trousers that we can wear that makes us look more feminine than others. So you have flowy trousers, so that's trousers that the material is very light. You also have peg leg trousers, you have high-waisted trousers, you have culottes, but you have all of those different types of trousers that you can style around. Now, if you think about working in a corporate setting, right, what do men mostly wear? They wear navy blue suits, they wear black suits, they wear pinstripe suits. So anything along that line is very masculine. Now, if you do have, let's say, a tailored suit, you can feminine it up if you wanted to by pairing it with a blouse instead of a tailored shirt. So that's a very good example of how you can sort of, I guess, feminine up, if that's even a word, but yeah, feminine up an outfit that would otherwise be predominantly considered as a male type of outfit. So if you're into trousers, that's completely fine, but what I would say is be very intentional with the type of trousers that you pick, and also be very intentional with what you pair them with, because you could end up looking quite androgynous, and there's nothing wrong with looking androgynous, by the way. If you're into an androgynous style, then obviously this video is not for you, because I'm not here to give you tips on how to look androgynous at work, but beware of that. But if you are wearing a suit and it's, let's say, a culotte suit or high-waisted suit, then that's kind of fine, because those kind of styles, you typically see them on women, and those are feminine styles. Tip number 3 is accessories and shoes. I'm going to start with the shoes. So when I go to work, I do wear my trainers on my way to work, but once I'm there, I always switch it up and wear my pair of heels. And I think heels are a great way to make you look a lot more feminine than you would otherwise. I personally like pointed toe heels just because I have white feet, so it tends to slim my feet. Now, if you're not a huge fan of heels, you do have an option of wearing flats, but I think when you're wearing flats, you have to be careful of what your choices are, and I'm gonna show you that in a minute. So this is a very good pair of flats to have because it's pointed toe. It's, you know, it's made of this net fabric. It's a feminine pair of flats. However, if I was to wear something like this, so yes, it does have the toe, but I think loafers are originally meant to be for guys, so they're mostly male pair of shoes, and obviously they created this one to, it's like It's like a feminine take on those type of shoes. Another example is this. So this also is a take on a loafer, but as you can see, it has a bit of diamante on it and it's a color pink. So it's a lot more feminine, in my opinion, than this one. So I think it's something for you to consider. If you want to wear flats, then you have to kind of go towards the direction of something that's a bit feminine for an overall feminine look. So that was it for shoes. The next part of tip number 3 was accessories. So I do like to accessorize. I don't think I've ever gone to work without wearing one accessory. And my favorite type is a pair of earrings. It's always nice to play around with accessories. Earrings is my choice of poison, basically. And I also like rings. I typically wear 1 or 2. So I'm not a huge fan of necklaces, but again, you can use any type of jewelry. I think jewelry does elevate an outfit in a way that is slightly different. You, as a woman, there's something shining on your body, if that makes any sense, and that just looks extra feminine. So whatever you like, bracelets, rings, necklaces, earrings, whichever one. I don't recommend wearing all of them together. If you want to kind of have all of them together, then they need to be dainty jewelry, so it doesn't look like it's too much, and it probably has to be over a very plain outfit. That brings me to my next thing, which is hair and makeup. I mean, there's nothing more feminine than a woman's hair, whether that's long or that's short. Depending on how you style it, you can look extra feminine. For women, there's so much we can do with our hair. I mean, coming from African heritage, I am black, we are used to really playing around with our hair. Today we have it long, tomorrow we have it short, this color, that color. So we really love playing with our hair, be it natural or extensions. We kind of do that. And I think it doesn't matter what your ethnicity is, you can play around with your hair. You can keep your hair down, keep it up, put like a piece of, what do you call that, pin in it, just to kind of, you know, like the nice jewelry pins that have been, the pearl pins, the famous pearl pins, those are nice things as well, or a headband. Those little things, I feel like they kind of add a bit of femininity to a look or to yourself in general. And also keep your hair clean, have it done. Don't just, you know, wake up in the morning and do like that and do whatever. No, I'm not saying you should spend too much time on it, but at least think about what you're wearing on your hair. The next part I said was makeup. So makeup, again, that's a bit of a tricky one for me because I know not everybody likes wearing makeup. Personally, I do wear makeup to work. If you don't know how to do makeup, there's so many videos on YouTube that teaches you how to do anything from super being extra to a natural look. I personally prefer the whole natural look makeup because then you don't look like you're trying too hard. I would say the natural look is generally a nice one. There is a spectrum through which you can play around with it, whether that's just a little bit or tinted moisturizer all the way to having a full coverage foundation. The main thing is you should apply your makeup nicely and seamlessly, and it should make you look elegant rather than, I don't know, trashy, for lack of a better word. So that's definitely something to consider when you're applying your makeup on for a more feminine and elegant look. Tip number 5 is to buy clothes that actually fit your body and that look attractive on you. I think this is so important. A lot of times I have seen women wearing clothes that clearly do not fit them. They're either too tight or too big. People can tell when they don't look right on you. So buy clothes that look right on you, because more often than not, clothes that fit you well would tend to look attractive on you. Another thing to do as well, which is something that I do, is that I try to get inspiration from influencers out there, especially fashion influencers. So I pick influencers for different reasons. So if I'm looking for, let's say, I'm not entirely sure what kind of colors look good on me, I would typically follow a fashion influencer whom I love her style and she has the same complexion as I do, just so that I can kind of see if she wears something and it looks great on her, chances are it would look good on me. Another criteria that I look for is to find a fashion influencer who has the same figure as me, so that could be someone of any race as well. If the clothes she wears tends to look nice on her, more often than not I am more inclined to buy that because we have the same figures. And I also follow influencers that look nothing like me because I kind of want to see what else is out there. And sometimes the things that they wear, obviously, they may not be things that I would initially think would work on my body, but they do work on my body after I've tried them out. So I do follow an array of influencers and I recommend that you do the same. And also I would say, obviously, we're talking about people in the workspace, so definitely also follow a bunch of influencers that do workwear things. I am one of them, so you can feel free to go ahead and follow me, but there are a lot of them as well. So those are things that you should think about when you're trying to get inspiration for people. But I think it goes back to my point of saying that wear wear clothes that fit you, and wear clothes that are flattering on your figure. So tip number 6 is eating healthy and exercising. If you might have heard of the statement, you are what you eat, because there's so much truth to that. If you eat a lot of junk food, then that would show on your skin, whether that's in the form of pimples or acne or all of that kind of stuff. But if you eat healthy food, that also shows in your skin. You have vibrant skin, you'd find that you have a natural underlying glow that people can't really explain. People will come up to you and ask you what you're using, etc., and it's pretty much what you're eating. And you have that effect as well when you exercise, obviously, because you release the toxins from your body. So you have all these positive things that come about when you eat healthy and you exercise regularly. So that leads me to tip number 7, which is beauty treatments. I'm not saying you should do this all the time. Once a month is fine, even once in 2 months is fine, but I think it's necessary to kind of have that, especially when it comes to facial treatment. In as much as you eat healthy and exercise, sometimes you do still kind of can have underlying problems that maybe you need a really good facial scrub. Even having massages to kind of relieve you of any stress, to have manicure, pedicures, or any form of beauty treatment that you like to do. I think this is a great way as well to enhance your look. Point number 8, this is a very important point. It's your posture. I have the problem till today. I sometimes slouch, and it's very easy to do that, especially if you're working a 9 to 5, especially if you're on the desk all the time. It's easy to just kind of slouch like that. So my recommendation is, if you're struggling with that, I tend to have like a reminder on my phone that kind of beeps up to tell me to adjust my posture. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. If you can walk tall, walk straight, walk tall, it exudes a certain type of confidence that's also sexy at the same time, and it looks good on a woman when you have that. Another thing as well, which I recently saw, meant to be like a posture strap, isn't it? It's selling on Amazon. I've never tried it, but I do want to buy it and try it out. But I have seen good reviews about it, so that's definitely something to consider if you're going to work and you're having to strap on that posture belt or whatever that's called. If you're having to wear that, I'm not sure whether it peeps through clothes. It probably would. So a good alternative is, if you're at home, maybe to wear it. That way you start practicing at home, and when you get to work, at some point you would get used to sitting upright without thinking about it. A lot of us do it, but it's not great. You look better when you sit upright, you look confident, so it's actually great if we can learn how to proper adjust our posture. Notice I said we, because I have that problem as well, and I'm still working on it. Tip number 9, this is actually a very easy tip, is smile. They always say a woman's best accessory is a smile, because you don't have to pay for it, it's free, but it adds so much value to yourself. I can't tell you how much having incorporated a smile in my life has changed my life for the better, especially even at work. And I remember when I started my new job, one of the things that I made a point to do was always to smile, and the feedback that I got was so positive. I found people wanting to help me a lot more. Even during my 3-month probation review that I had with my manager, the feedback that he gave me, he said, when I asked for feedback from colleagues and other people that you work with, they said, oh, we actually forgot that she just joined the company, because it feels like she's been with us for such a long time. And I think that's because when you smile with people, you're welcoming, and so people are welcoming back towards you. So you create friendships a lot quicker, you build relationships a lot quicker, and also it helps build a certain amount of confidence. So a smile plays a role that is outside of your appearance, also your relationships, but it also affects your appearance, because you look approachable, you look pretty, you look like basically someone wants to be your friend. And point number 10, which is the most important thing as far as I'm concerned when it comes to being feminine, is be yourself. Don't try to be like somebody else. And I know that there are a lot of people, myself included, who are on this feminine journey, and we're trying to improve things about ourselves. It's not the same as being inauthentic. I would say that if you're trying to improve something or change a habit of yours that you're struggling with, give yourself time. That's what I would say, because sometimes if you try to force it, it can come across as inauthentic, and that's not what you want. You don't want people to look at you and think that you're a fraud, or that you're pretending to be somebody that you're not. So you want to start feeling comfortable doing certain things, and a lot of times that takes time, especially if it's a habit. So my advice is, if you're starting something new, start small and get the confidence that is required. You have to be confident doing whatever it is you're doing. And so once you start being confident, it kind of shows through that you're being your authentic self. So Be authentic. Don't try to be something that you're not. You trying to be like somebody else. Maybe there's somebody else that you admire and you completely change your persona just to be like that person. People can tell, and it's not a very attractive quality. So be yourself in whatever you do. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the tips I gave on how to look feminine at work. Yeah, if you did, go ahead and like the video as well as subscribe to my channel. Also follow me on Instagram because, like I mentioned, I post daily inspirational pictures for you guys. So thank you so much for watching to this point. I will see you in my next video. Bye.